In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to deploy a Docker DigitalOcean Droplet. By the end, you'll know exactly how to create a clean, production-ready server on DigitalOcean that's ready for Docker workloads. If you're following along, make sure you're signed into your DigitalOcean account so you can move through each screen with me. We'll begin in the DigitalOcean dashboard. Head to the Projects area. This is where you organize related infrastructure. You can either open an existing project or create a new one. If you're starting fresh, give your project a clear, descriptive name that reflects the app or environment you plan to run. Keeping projects organized makes access control, billing, and resource management much easier down the road. Inside your project, go to the Resources tab. This page lists everything tied to the project. We're going to create a new droplet, which is DigitalOcean's term for a virtual machine. Click the button to create a droplet, and you'll land in the setup flow where we'll configure all the details. First, choose the region. Pick a location closest to your users or your team to reduce latency and improve performance. If you have data residency requirements, choose a region that satisfies them. Within the region, select the data center if you're given options. Both are functionally similar, but staying consistent helps if you plan to spread resources for high availability. Next, choose your image. For Docker, you have two good paths. Select a standard Linux distribution like Ubuntu, or choose a pre-configured Docker image from the marketplace so Docker is ready out of the box. If you prefer a minimal base and tight control, Ubuntu is a solid, stable choice. If speed is your priority, the Docker marketplace image saves setup time. Either way, you'll be well positioned to run containers. Now select the droplet size. Think in terms of the workloads you expect. For lightweight services or a reverse proxy, a small plan is fine. For multiple containers, CI tasks, or heavier apps, step up to more CPU and memory. You can resize later, but it's easier to start with enough headroom than to scramble during a spike. You'll also see CPU options. General purpose plans balance compute and memory. If your containers are CPU bound, processing, compilation, or heavy API loads, consider CPU optimized options. For bursty or experimental workloads, a flexible or smaller plan can be more cost effective. If you need persistent block storage for databases, media, or large artifacts, add additional volumes here. You can attach volumes later if you're unsure. It's better to separate persistent data from the root disk if you plan to redeploy the droplet frequently. Consider enabling backups. Automatic backups provide point-in-time recovery and peace of mind, especially for production services. There's an added cost, but it's far cheaper than downtime or data loss. For authentication, choose how you'll access the server. SSH keys are the recommended method because they're more secure and convenient than passwords. If you already have keys in your account, select them. If you're exploring the password option, be sure to set a strong, unique password and store it securely. Either approach works, but keys are best practice for servers that will run critical containers. Scroll to finalize details. You can usually leave defaults unless you know you need specific networking or monitoring settings. Then confirm the quantity if you're creating more than one droplet, useful for staging and production parity or simple scaling. Give your droplet a clear host name. Good names encode role and environment, like app web prod or data worker staging, which helps when you're managing several servers. Add tags to group resources by function, environment, or team. Tags make filtering, cost tracking, and firewall rules simpler and less error-prone. Assign the droplet to the correct project so it appears with the rest of your stack and inherits the right context. A tidy project structure saves time later when you're auditing resources or inviting collaborators. When everything looks good, click Create Droplet. DigitalOcean will provision the server in a minute or two. Once it's active, you'll see its public IP in your project's resources. From there, you're ready to connect and begin running your Docker workloads on a clean, dependable droplet foundation.